Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cine Geeks Sit and Talk. I'm Roy,
And Angela.
and for this episode, we will be talking about the newest film from Viva Films and Cornerstone Studios, which is
The Loved One.
yan, starring Jericho Rosales and
And Curtis.
Ann Curtis, of course, written and directed by Irene Villamor. Yan. So, na-upload na namin yung aming parang walk-in, stand and talk pala.
Yung basta yung exit reaction
Yun,
natin.
yung
Right after
non-spoiler.
watching the movie.
Yes, na-upload na natin siya. And medyo bumula ng konti yung bibig natin doon. Kasi talagang sobrang napakaganda nitong scene na to.
Oo. And hindi pa nga natin nasabi yung mga gusto talaga nating pag-usapan.
Exactly, yes.
Kasi we wanted to keep it spoiler-free as always.
Yes, of course, of course. Pero of course, dito sa Sit and Talk, everything goes. Spoiler warnings out the window. So, if you haven't seen the film yet, by the way, it comes out February 11. Huwag
Yes.
muna niyong panoorin to. Panoorin niyo muna, tapos paglabas, balik kayo dito. Yung,
Ano yung nila? Movie date of the year?
the ultimate movie date of the
Ultimate
year.
movie date of the year yun.
January pa lang, February pa lang ultimate movie date of the year na.
Oo.
Pero, ayun, anyway, so, mabilisan lang siya. Just setting it up. The Loved One is about Eric and Ellie.
Ellie.
Played by Jericho and Anne, respectively. And basically, they are a couple in a long-term relationship. And the movie chronicles basically the rise and fall of their relationship. Yun. So, hindi namin masabi yon doon sa stand and talk kasi yun yung pinaka-spoilery part niya
Oo.
na
Yun talaga yung gist ng kwento.
Yes.
It's about the formation, the beginnings, the birth of a relationship.
That's true.
And what happens next.
That's true.
Yan.
Okay, sige. Ange, let's get the ball rolling. What did you think of The Loved One? No spoilers.
No spoilers pa rin.
No spoilers na. Spoilery na pala. Sige, with
Spoilery
spoilers.
na.
Sorry.
Okay. Ito talaga yung isa sa mga rare na Filipino movies na talagang nag-reflect talaga ng real life long-term relationship struggles, kahit yung how it began, yung kilig, yung the everything new and exciting. Tapos yung hanggang sa mas makikilala mo na ng malalim, especially if you choose to, live with them. Mas makikilala mo talaga. And also, yun ay magkakaroon ng differences in principle, yung mga core beliefs, kung mag-a-align pa rin ba. Doon mo malalaman eh. So parang ang daming mga moments na nakarelate ako. Although, fortunately, hindi naman yung mga pinaka-worst. Pero ang daming mga may mga moments doon na may nag-aaway sila and yung mga linyahan nila parang linyahan natin.
Alam mo yung, I know exactly what you're referring to. Alam mo yung tipong parang may sinabi si alam ko si Irene or si Anne doon sa talkback after the screening na when there gets it gets to a point where yung away ng isang couple in a long-term relationship becomes less about the grandiose parang mga show-stopping na away na parang teleserye. And it just becomes about the two of you, parang knowing how to weaponize each other's buttons
And weaknesses.
and weaknesses
no?
and
Oo.
just going straight at it.
You know the pain points, kumbaga.
Exactly,
And
yun.
then, dun mo talaga ito twist yung knife.
That's true. And I definitely agree na it was able to accurately, almost painfully accurate,
Yeah.
na i-depict yung parang struggle ng isang couple. Actually, hindi nga sila married eh. And then, they're in a long-term relationship. So talagang, I mean, if you know us both, we're in the exact same boat.
Almost the same nga eh, kasi di ba sila 10 years,
10 years,
tapos tayo 12
and
years.
count.
Parang ano nga,
Oo.
perfect movie for us.
It's,
Oo. Actually, di ba, meron nga tayong mga listeners dyan na nagre-request The
Ah,
secrets to a long,
well, long.
healthier relationship is
I
a lot
mean,
of differences na compromise.
alam
Ganun
mo, ito sige,
talaga.
yan, nakakatuwa yan. Kasi, yun nga, ang daming humihingi nung parang, ano ba yung sikreto, quote-unquote, ng isang healthy relationship. And basically, what this movie depicts is what not to do to ensure that your relationship survives all the struggles, all the storms, all the pain that comes your way. Kasi I mean, ito, and we're not just talking there about yung parang in a relationship sense, pero parang I'm also saying na napakaganda ng pagkakasulat ni Irene Villamor. Which by the way, siya din yung nagsulat ng Five Breakups in a Romance.
Tsaka Camp Sawi.
Kamsawi, ano ba to? Uh, Sid and Aya, Not a Love
Sid
Story.
and Aya, Only We
Yeah,
Know.
Only We Know, yung mga ganon. Na
And many
talagang,
more.
oo, so talagang she knows exactly how to craft stories that touch into a very tangible reality na hindi performative yung depiction ng relationships. Although we can say naman na parang, over the course of her filmography, nag-i-evolve, nag-i-improve yung kanyang writing. And
Oo.
ako, ang masasabi ko lang is, parang ibang klase yung leap. Ako kasi the last movie we saw of hers is yung pang Five Breakups and a Romance. So, yun lang yung aking point of comparison. And quite honestly, grabe yung talon. Improvement in quality in writing. And direction as well. Kasi, eto, also another spoilery aspect of it, this story is told in a non-linear fashion. Kinda like Five Breakups and a Romance. Oo. Kasi alam ko parang ano siya
Non-linear din ba
Alam ko
yun?
non-linear siya kasi parang nagsisimula muna sila na parang, alam ko biglang parang yung ligawan, tapos yung ending, tapos pandemic, tapos biglang, basta ganun din siya.
Ay, oo.
Diba?
Parang nag-jump nga.
Oo.
Ako naman ang naisip ko kanina si Oppenheimer.
Yun, parang siyang Oppenheimer kasi
Oo.
yung, meron siyang two timelines eh.
Oo.
Which is yung current timeline is them meeting each other after their relationship has dissolved. And then yung colored is
Yung past
yung
nila.
past
Yung
nila.
history nila.
Oo. And yun nga, yung sinabi mo Oppenheimer siya, na yung present nila is depicted in black and white. So parang talagang yung, alam mo yung mga scenes niya, no, ni Downey.
Oo.
Nag-testify siya
Yun
sa
yung black and
Oppenheimer,
white,
parang yung
oo.
black and white. So,
Yun yung kanilang current what's happening.
Oo.
Alam mo, just wanna comment on Direk Irene's filmography. Actually, nakakatuwa and gusto ko actually yung mga gawa niya kasi sobrang natural and realistic yung depiction niya ng dissolution of a relationship. Like, dun sa Five Breakups and a Romance din, parang wala siya masyado ng mga grand gestures of love and passion, yung mga sobrang teleserye-ish na mga exchange.
yes, yan.
It doesn't really resort to the cliche na mga kasi this is such so many movies have already told this story of two people falling in and out of love. Pero ang style kasi ni Irene palagi is yung kung ano talaga yung parang typically nangyayari sa mga regular na tao. Hindi siya yung parang merong confrontation, may sampalan, merong ganon, merong parang standoff. Sobrang understated and controlled.
Kasi we have seen a few of these kinds of films recently, and yung part ng formula na niya yung mga tipong may mga best friend na parang siya, involved siya dun sa gulo. Kasi parang try siya mag-mediate or something, yung ganon, or merong parang Deus Ex Machina na plot point na biglang parang, okay, this will force them to be okay in the end. Pilipino, gusto, lagi happy ending, kumbaga. Pero yun na nga it's a credit to the risk that she takes as a writer na nirerespeto niya yung intelligence ng audience niya to challenge them into watching a different kind of love story. Drama. Ayoko siya sa tawaging romantic drama kasi if anything nga, it's falling out of love eh. Hindi siya about falling in love eh. Yun yung pinakamasakit doon panoorin eh.
At saka ito yung two people who love each other but are parang so different in their core, in their beliefs, in their principles. Pero mahal nila yung isa't isa, pero hindi talaga mag-work. Gusto ko na natakil nitong movie na to, yung common na pinagdidisagreehan or parang yung mga deal breakers ng isang relationship. Like, gusto mo ba ng kasal? Gusto mo ba ng anak? Yung mga ganong topics na can make or break a relationship. And if you leave it unaddressed, doon slowly nagde-deteriorate and nangangalawang, kumbaga, humihina yung foundation ng isang relationship.
Even yung aspeto nung sa character ni Anne na sobrang grabe yung kanyang feeling of malaise in life in general. Discontent niya na unfortunately hindi masosolve nung relationship eh. That's a very real problem. And ito, also to point out, finally na, bago tayo mag-move on dun sa ibang aspects of the film, I love na this is a very millennial story.
Ay, oo. Yeah.
Not to say na yun na nga na parang okay, disparaging the other representations kasi we've had tons of Gen X. I mean, yung sila Aga, sila Charlene, sila Don Zulueta, sila Adel, mga ganun sini Gen X na yung mga yun eh. And now, ang love story du jour, marami. Gen Z, yung mga Call Love, Love You So Bad, yung mga ganun. Yun yung flavor of the month eh. Pero it's very, very rare to be able to see a very accurate depiction at that of the millennial experience. In terms of...
Lalo na dun sa yung not wanting kids, ganyan.
Oo, at saka yung parang, ito din, masabi ko lang, yun dun sa aspect ng character ni Echo. Na siya rin yung nagtaguyod ng pamilya niya. Breadwinner siya.
Oo. Yung ganung mentality na kailangan mo munang mag-ipon. Kailangan mo munang mag-establish bago ka mag-asawa.
Bago ka mag-anak.
Napaka-millennial nung ganun
Napaka-millennial struggle na yun.
Oo.
And I love na parang Irene was able to depict it with such grace and such respect for the millennial experience. Kasi ang pwede maging resort nito is dahil sa sobrang pwede siya maging Gen Z skewing na parang i-vilify masyado yung millennial experience kasi sila yung kami na yung mga boomer ngayon apparently. Or parang magsuskew naman siya masyado to the Gen X na parang medyo may konting pangangaral naman siya. Pero
preachy.
Hindi, preachy. Na parang yung kung ano yung ginagawa ng millennial. Mali.
Actually,
pero hindi nandun siya sa gitna. Na parang,
crossover ng Gen X tsaka millennial siya actually. Kasi parang Gen X na yata sila, Echo. Gen X pa sila.
Hindi, parang millennial eh.
Millennial ba sila?
Oo eh. Parang ganun yung nakukuha kong parang timeline. No? Kasi anong edad sila nagkakilala? 20s. Mga 28, ganun, di ba? So talagang millennial siya. Tapos 10 years sila, so parang, one would assume na by the end of the film, 38 na si Anne. Millennial talaga.
It spoke to the millennial in you.
Kaya sobrang, if you're a millennial in a relationship or were in a relationship or looking to be in a relationship, I mean, talagang sobrang makaka-relate ka doon sa pagkakasulat ni Irene and props to her for that. Sige, moving on tayo next to the performances. What did you think of Anne and Jericho in the lead roles?
Ako si Echo, unahin ko si Echo. Coming in from Quezon. Kasi yun yung huli ko siyang napanood eh. Parang yung pagka-gray ng buhok niya, parang nakikita ko pa rin si Quezon. Parang nag-expect ako na bigla siyang magsasabi ng mi querido.
Yung yung dun sa yung present, yung black and white sequences. Parang yung buhok niya, yung coif. Parang Quezon coif
diba?
Pa rin. Oo, parang
banal-banalan kang
sinasabi mo
babae
nga,
ka.
sinasabi mo nga na parang ang mukha niya is it it felt like he was shooting this in Quezon at the same time.
Pero at least hindi niya nadala yung boses. Doon ako happy kasi parang I was really watching it kasi the look is there. The quaff is there. So parang sabi ko, nako, baka yung boses, baka maipit din parang si Quezon. Pero hindi naman. Hindi naman. So as always, si Echo talaga, sobrang galing talaga niya sa drama. As in, sobrang effortless. Ganun pa rin talaga. Si Anne, comeback niya eh. Six years daw siyang hindi gumawa ng movie. And andun pa rin yung spark. Andun pa rin yung charm niya. Whenever she's on screen, she's very, very, she has this electric energy.
Very
Especially dun sa umpisa.
feisty.
The camera loves her.
Yes.
That is what I'm gonna put that. Dun sa chemistry nila, it's definitely there, especially the drama scenes. Although, parang medyo, it has to warm up. It had to warm up a bit. Kasi hindi ka agad. For me lang.
Pero, ito, masabi ko lang na, nakita mo yung yung embodied talaga nila yung characters that they were, written to perform. Kasi katulad ni Echo, talagang he remained consistent in what his parang character's personality is talaga. Na yung, again, it speaks to the millennial eh. Kasi ito masabi ko lang, I hope I'm not speaking for everybody. Pero as millennial guys, we have seen some as in talaga. So one of the parang hallmarks of a millennial in a relationship, I believe, is the want to not do or emulate the sins of the past na naobserbahan namin. And kuhang-kuha ni Jericho yung struggle, yung sa loob, yung internal struggle niya.
Yung parang chip on his shoulder na may gusto siyang patunayan muna sa sarili niya din.
Hindi lang yun. Pati yung yung ayaw niyang makasakit sa relationship. Ayaw niyang pagbuhatan ng kamay si Anne. Yung ganong struggle. Not necessarily the chip on the shoulder kasi everybody has chips on their shoulder. Pero yung ganon na ako, I believe na hindi ko sasabi exclusively millennial siya. Pero, I mean, growing up naman kasi mas tayo yung exposed dun sa parang tipo ng disiplina na parang talagang corporeal punishment eh.
Okay.
So, one would believe na we're the generation who started to turn our back on doing something like that or perpetuating that, and you can see it in Jericho's performance. Ako naman din naman kay Anne. Kitang-kita mo talagang, I mean, yun yung ako for all the millennial women that I know. Yun yung parang hallmark ng isang millennial na babae. Yun talagang free spirit.
Ganun?
Yung talagang the want to really find something that embodies who you are. Purpose mo, body, mind, and soul. Na talagang doon, passion. And, ang ganda kasi, andi dito, kitang-kita mo sa performance ni Anne, yung, even then, seeing na, parang as a millennial, she also wants companionship. And yun yung nagka-clash. Basta sobrang ang galing talaga nila. It's
also about life It's not just about a love story between two people. Kasi yun nga yung personal struggles nila is very much relatable. Across generations, I mean, kahit mga Gen Z siguro would relate to, really finding what you really wanna do in life. Kung ano ba talagang passion mo, kung ano ba talagang gusto mong gawin habang buhay. If you feel stuck in, let's say, your job or where you are, or who you're with.
Hmm.
That's a very universal kind of feeling.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oo.
So, ang ganda nung writing. Ang ganda nung pagkaka-flesh out ng mga characters. They're very well developed, multifaceted. They're not one-dimensional.
Although masabi ko lang medyo hindi naman sa disappoint ako, pero parang may isang parang dito, set piece dito na away na I would have wanted if that emotional peak occurred at the end, or at least how time was presented in the end.
Ah.
Kasi I'm talking about yung parang yung away nila na pagkatapos niyang sabihin dun sa tatay ni Anne na gusto niyang magpakasal. Tapos biglang
yun.
nalaman narinig ni Anne yun, tapos si Anne, nagkaroon siya ng parang drag out fight dahil nga ayaw niya magpakasal. And yun yung hinanap ko dun sa dun sa parang, kasi nagkaroon pa siya ng isa pang parang showdown after that Pero doon sa showdown, yung second showdown na siya, wala na siya nung parang anything
Intensity.
goes intensity. So talaga nag-overlapan sila ng linya. Yun yung hinahanap. Dun sa unang away, doon ko siya nakita. Pero it happened like 2/3 of the way dun sa film. Pero if ako personally, if I were to parang sequence that, mas nilalagay ko siya sa dulo. Para talagang yun yung talagang emotional high point
Gut
ng scene.
punch,
Talagang
oo.
gut punch talaga.
Parang sa Marriage Story.
Yun, kumbaga doon, yung kung kailan sinuntok ni Adam Driver yung pader. Doon
Yung kailangan nandun na talaga yung highest peak of emotion na
That's
talagang
true.
tipong talagang kahit ikaw mismo kung para kang nag-eavesdrop sa away ng mag-asawa
Yes,
na sobrang
exactly.
uncomfortable at
That's
the same time very emotional.
Pero that's
May
just a minor
ganyan din
quibble.
sa isa pang movie na sa As If It's True.
Well, doon naman sa As If It's True, tama yung placement niya.
Yun nga.
Doon sa diyon, okay, siya, tama ka.
Oo, tama nga yung placement niya kasi nasa dulo siya. It becomes this culmination of all the yung sama ng loob na naipon nila
That's true.
throughout
Oo.
the movie.
That's true.
Doon nila lahat ibabagsak sa na yon, sa set piece
Sa
na
set
yon.
piece yan, oo. Actually, doon nga sa set piece na yun, sinasabi ko, parang nag-iba bigla yung camera. Parang bigla siya naging steady cam. Na talagang the camera is getting into the face of Jericho and Anne. Kaya sobrang
I love that.
ramdam mo yung pagiging visceral
Visceral,
ng away nila.
Oo.
Pero pagdating sa dulo, yung parang the fight that broke everything, medyo parang bumalik siya sa
Cinematic.
yung cinematic na linyahan. Linya 1, linya 2, linya 1, linya 2, yung gano'n. Pero,
Although magaganda yung mga linya, pero the linyas, the lines were so curated and metaphorical na
sa dulo.
oo, kaya parang naisip ko, wow, napaka-creative naman ng mga nila, ng mga banat nila sa isa't isa.
Yung You're a Storm ba yun?
Oo.
You're a freaking storm.
You destroy me.
You destroy.
Parang shocks kapag ganun tayo mag-away tapos ganun yung mga linyahan natin.
Parang magtatawanan tayo. Imbis na talagang away. Sabi ko, You're a Storm. Tititig ka sa mawawala agad yung galit.
Tapos biglang gumano, no?
Biglang nag-X-Men bigla.
Oo.
Ay nako. Pero that's a minor quibble kasi talagang the script was able to maintain the emotional intensity throughout, buoyed by two fantastic performances. Masabi ko lang, there are two aspects of the production aside from acting and writing that are very noteworthy. First being the editing
Yes.
by Ben Tolentino. This movie is a non-linear story and it could have fallen apart sa editing.
Yes.
And the editing is what creates this masterpiece.
Oo.
Talaga.
And also, nagkaroon siya ng parang I'm just not sure. I actually wanted to ask this during the talkback pero hindi ako nagkaroon ng opportunity. If the non-linear way of telling the story is parang a statement on the nature of memory being mixed up, parang
True.
you are a very unreliable narrator of your own experience, of
Exactly.
your memory.
I mean, I would assume.
Kasi
Pero,
sabi naman ni Direk Irene na everything was intentional,
yan,
na
kahit yung mga smallest minute detail.
may mga vantage points parang her story and his story, 'di ba? Tapos nagkakaroon ng differences in details. iba-iba yung nag-iiba yung gamit sa paligid, yung
Tama.
damit,
Ayun,
and
damit.
all that.
Even in the same situation, nag-iiba yung damit. And there was this, we had one fellow moviegoer dun sa special screening na pinuntahan namin na taga Miriam.
Yeah.
Forgot her name. Basta pinoint out niya na talagang yung kahit dun sa, in the same part in the story, pero told from different vantage points ni Echo at saka ni Ann Curtis. Pero iba yung damit nila, iba
Oo.
yung
Hairstyle.
iba hairstyle. So parang nung narinig ko, shucks, o nga no. Actually, that also lends to the rewatchability of this movie.
Yeah.
Kaya kung pag nakahilom na kami sa pagpanood namin ngayon, we saw this, February 6. Sige, pag mumukas tayo, siguro na tayo.
Yeah.
Medyo...
Sa opening day.
Sa opening day,
Panoorin na natin, pero spot natin yung mga
Spot
differences.
yung mga-
Ayun.
yan. So, kudos to Sir Ben. By the way, siya ang nag-edit din ng mga favorite films natin like Gomburza, Bacon Badette, and A Very Good Girl. So, talagang sobrang galing.
Pagdating sa non-linear, nasa editing talaga ang brunt of the work.
Yes. Kaya kudos, Sir Ben. And also,
Kudos.
the cinematography.
Ah,
Kay
oo.
Pao Parandain.
This is a beautifully
Oh
shot
my God, ang
movie.
ganda. Ang ganda nung kahit as simple as yung mga sobrang peaceful na camera movements. There are camera movements here that you don't see in standard typical Filipino fare.
Yes.
Like may isang part dito, even as simple as lingering behind the head of one of your main characters. Sobrang I mean, that's a very small thing. Sanay na kasi tayo kasi we see that in Western films and TV shows all the time.
Yeah.
Pero for a Filipino production, napaka-gutsy nun. Yung part sa simula na magkausap si Eric tsaka si Ellie dun sa kasal ng friend nila.
Oo.
Tapos,
Yung may
nagsasalita lang si Ann. Nakatutok lang yung camera sa kanya. Tapos kita lang natin yung likod ng ulo ni Echo
Oo.
for about a minute or two.
Oo.
And that's that shot is not really heard of.
Or it's not common.
Oo, kasi kung sa Pilipinas, kailangan, pag andyan yung artista mo, kita dapat yung mukha ng artista mo.
Parang yung typical na teleserye na
Balikan.
balikan.
And also yung may isa ko nakita pa dito na yung dun sa black and white segments, yung present day, so to speak.
Yung mga vantage
Yung
point
mga
nila dun sa
ganon,
cafe.
Yung hindi lang siya yung parang gano'n na parang makikita lang yung mukha nila tapos bigyan. May mga galaw na parang wait, I haven't seen this in a Filipino film in a long time or maybe ever. Pero
Ako naman, ang nagustuhan ko, yung mga mirror shots na parang skewed talaga yung way nila of seeing things from their perspective. It's the same event, it's the same day, pero magkaiba sila ng pananaw at paningin dun sa mga nangyayari. It reminded me of one of the things that stood out for me sa Wicked for Good, yung Girl in the Bubble. Yung parang mga mirror shots and yung mga parang optical illusions na gano'n.
yun na lang yung the only good thing about Wicked for Good.
Okay naman yung mga songs.
Girl in the Bubble. Oo.
Pero yeah, it was so wonderfully shot. Ang ganda ng mga camera movements niya, and also gusto ko rin yung parang meron pa akong isang movie na para siyang ano ba yan, flipped. So magkaiba siya ng perspective, from the perspective of the boy and the perspective of the girl. Maganda 'yon, panoorin niyo guys. Kasi binabalikan natin yung mga same events pero from the eyes
different
of
perspectives.
through the eyes of Ellie and Eric. So, gusto ko yung mga ganong klaseng movies na parang there are two sides of the same story and then there's the truth.
At saka ito, sige, last word ko na lang before we give our grade for the film. To add to your point, nakakatuwa yung ganong pagkakagawa ng movie na hindi siya parang nag-iba lang ng camera angle tapos tinawag na siyang ibang POV. Hindi Talagang every time the movie goes back to an event that we've already referenced or seen, and then it's from either the woman's perspective or the man's perspective this time, ramdam mo yung shift It feels very different even though you've seen that part earlier. And it's not an easy thing to do, especially in a very visual medium like film. Kaya, again, kudos to Irene, kudos to Pau, and to the entire crew for creating this really affecting, accurate portrayal of modern romance and how it can float or sink depending on the people involved.
Yeah.
Ikaw, anything to add before we close?
If you are in a relationship or even if you are single, this is a great watch, especially it speaks to anyone who experiences life and heartbreak, falling in love, falling out of love. Parang it's a slice of life, so to speak. And I think a lot of people will relate to either kay Eric or kay Ellie. Pero ito lang yung masasabi ko. Wala sigurong may mali sa kanila.
Oh, I agree.
It's really not about finding fault in anyone. Walang ganon. If anything, pagkatapos yung manood ng movie, parang maganda siyang pag-usapan. And then, saka mo sabihin kung ano yung mga stand mo about certain things. Like about, halimbawa, sa mga bagong may karelasyon. Ngayon, pag-usapan nyo na, what is your stand on marriage
Or
and
having children.
having babies and career. Yung mga ganong napaka-simple pero napaka-importanting mga bagay na
Conversations,
makaka-apekto sa kung paano yung longevity ng relationship.
That's true. That's true. And yung, ano to? Ano tayo sabihin ko? Ganito sinabi mo eh. Ano tawag dito? Yung, basta, ano siya, it's a very uncomfortable watch. The same way that Marriage Story was an uncomfortable watch. Pero it felt very essential na, especially for people in a relationship, to examine their relationships din. Ito yung masabi ko, naalala ko na, tawag dito, meron siyang konting parang anatomy of a fall.
Oo.
Yung in the way na nagpo-postmortem siya doon sa nangyari sa relationship nila. Of course, minus the legal stuff. Pero parang ganun yung feels niya para sa akin.
Parang ano na lang siya, in spirit. They're trying to talk about what went wrong.
That's true.
Na parang when did it all start falling apart? Parang ganon.
That's true. Okay.
Oo.
Sige, bigyan natin yung grade natin. Anong grade natin dito?
Ako solid A.
Yeah. Solid A talaga for this film. Must watch. Siyempre sinabi sa atin huwag mo na mag-spoil. So, lalabas tong review na to Feb 11. So, assuming na Feb 11 to mag-upload, dapat showing na siya. So, go and see this. Films like, again, we always say na whenever there are films like this, we say na parang we've been asking for films like this. Okay? We've been asking for films like this. Go out and watch films like this so that we can continue to create more films like this.
Yeah,
Talaga.
tama na yung mga kabit-kabit. We need more stories like this.
Oo, yung naman, yung totoong buhay naman.
Oo.
Wag naman yung puro mga pa-drama-drama. Yung drama naman na talagang totoong drama naman.
O yung mga hugutan, mga linyahan, medyo sawa na ako dyan eh. Gusto ko yung mga totoong stuff talaga, real stuff. The ugly and the gritty and the painful. Give me that.
True. That's true. Okay, so yeah, solid A for The Loved One from the Cine Geeks. Again, thank you for watching this review. If you like what you heard, or if you've seen the film, if you loved it, if you didn't love it, whatever your opinion, tell us, comment below.
Kung napanood nyo na, ano yung paborito nyong line dun sa movie, comment nyo.
Comment nyo. And yeah, check out our other stuff. We're on YouTube, Spotify, nasa Apple Podcast pa ba tayo?
Oo.
Ewan ko.
Audio.
And yeah. So I guess we'll see you in the next one. So
For my co-host Joy, this has been Angela. Thank you for listening to the Cine Geeks podcast, where movies, TV, and good vibes collide.